Hello. So on this channel, I talk a lot about shopping your closet, using the pieces that you own. You don't have to go shopping for new pieces, a new wardrobe. You can look chic and stylish and all the good things with the pieces you already have. But something I haven't discussed here on the channel is how do we take care of those pieces? So I thought I would share my closet care kit with you and just kind of give you a little insight into how I take care of my pieces so that I get longevity out of them. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. So I think the best place to start is with washing. Now, it is important to follow care instructions. Depending on the material, some things need cold water, others need warm water, some need to be put on a delicate cycle. It's great to use that as a jumping off point. I think I'm specifically going to talk about my more delicate pieces and how I take care of them, but just as a quick run through, cottons and linens, relatively easily to take care of. They just need to go in the washer, cold water, put them in the dryer for a short amount of time, not for a complete cycle, and then let them air dry the rest of the way, or else you will have some shrinkage happen because the warmth will make the fibers shrink, and you just do not want your beautiful blouse or button-up shirt or linen top to come out a few sizes too small. But for this, I think I'm going to talk more about my silks and my cashmeres and how exactly I take care of them. For my silks and my cashmeres, I actually hand wash those, and it's more just because I'm not doing more than one piece at a time. It's usually because I've worn a piece, a simple crew neck like my black one, over and over and over again, and I just want to make sure that I've thoroughly cleaned it. The great thing about wools, merino, cashmere, thicker wools, is that you don't have to wash them as often as you think. They have microbes in them naturally that keep them clean. So you really only need to do it once if you find a really good detergent and that you do a thorough job. And so you want to make sure that you are paying attention to the color of your cashmere and silks as well as the pits, just to get to those really the places that touch the skin the most or are going to be have the most friction against them. You want to really pay attention to those spots. And as I said, I do hand wash them. Some people might find that a little fussy, but I am going to give you another option in just a moment. Now, I mentioned the detergent. Now, I did use Woolite, which is specifically made for delicates. It does say that you can use it on wools and silks. It's great. I haven't had any irritation with it. It does the job. I feel that it cleans everything fantastically. As I said, with one good clean, you don't need to wash at least your cashmeres or wools more than once a season. Silks, again, dependent on how often that you're wearing them. You might have to every now and again, but for myself, I find that I don't wear my silks very often during the fall and winter, but I might wash them two or three times, depending on the wear, and if I was just really layered up that day, and I might feel that I need to go in there and do just a little treatment, maybe around the collar, makeup, that kind of thing. For spot treating, which is a good way of lengthening the time between how often you have to do a wash on silks or even your cottons and linens, I use the Shout Advanced. This stuff is so fantastic. I accidentally got some red enchilada sauce on one of my blue shirts, and this pretty much wiped it out. You dot this, scrub it a little bit, throw it into the washer, And no joke, I mean, the stain comes right out. It is really, really good. Now, I know not everybody has the time to hand wash their pieces. I completely understand. So I have actually tried with my silks and cashmeres, putting them in the washer, not dryer, just the washer, and everything came out wonderfully. So I recommend, if you have a number of silks or cashmeres, to put them all in at one time. And I actually used these mesh bags that LilySilk sent me when I bought my cashmere sweater. I think they come in 3 different sizes, and they're great. I went ahead, I just put my sweaters in this little baggie and dropped them into my washer. I put it on the lowest agitation. I don't have a Delicates knob or system, and added my Woolite, and they were great. When they came out, I went ahead and shaped them, had them air dry, and they were good as new. So I wouldn't be afraid of putting pieces in. Just make sure that it is in a mesh bag with a good tightly woven mesh, and that you're using a good detergent that is meant for delicates, and you should have no problem. I didn't have any tears, I didn't have any warping or shrinkage. They all came out really, really great. Now, another concern when owning cashmere is the pilling. So I have a Evercare depiller that I bought at Target, and this is fantastic. I do want to mention, before I go any farther, none of these products, I'm not sponsored, or these companies don't know I'm doing this video. I just wanted to show you what I use personally to give you an idea of what you can pick up, or you know, if you've been toying with the idea of getting a cashmere sweater, you have a little more understanding about the maintenance. So anyway, I have this Evercare depiller, and it's very handy. This little lid comes right off. Here is where the blades or the shaver is, and then everything is caught in this tiny little compartment down here, and this comes right out. You can dump it into the garbage, and it's really quick and easy. As I sit here and try to put this back on, it doesn't take very long. Again, you want to pay attention to friction areas, so under the arm, along the sleeve, maybe along the collar. And every cashmere sweater is at some point in time going to pill. That's just part of the natural cycle of a cashmere sweater. But good sweaters don't pill a lot all the time. So I think I've had to depill mine twice, maybe, in the number of years that I've owned them. And I try to do that at the end of the season, just so when the next fall comes around, they're all ready to go, nice and clean and tidy. So that is a really great like starter depiller. I know that Steamery has a really fancy, aesthetically pleasing looking one, but that one works just fine for me. And as I said, it's really simple. You just lightly brush it over the surface of the sweater, and it does the job for you. I haven't had any tears. I haven't had any pieces come loose or undone. This depiller has been really, really great in just making my sweaters look fresh and brand new. Another really important piece of equipment that I use to take care of my cashmere and my silks is my steamer. This is a handheld steamer from Steamfast. I believe I got this from Bed Bath & Beyond, and it is great. It's easy to use. You can just pop open this top and then put the water up to the max line. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but only to the max line. You do not want this overflowing because it is very hot water and it hurts when it hits your skin. I wouldn't know that from experience or anything, but this has been a game changer for me. It does get a little heavy once the water is in there, so you might want to take that into consideration, but it gets the wrinkles out of everything within seconds. It doesn't take very long to heat up, maybe 2 minutes, if that, and you're off to the races. With my silks, I mean, you just see them, the creases come undone, and it makes the silk pieces look so beautiful. I recommend when steaming to start at the bottom and work your way up to the top, because I find that once you get the creases out at the bottom of the piece, the weight of the material falling helps get rid of the creases up top as you are using the steamer. It's just something I've noticed while working in retail and using this one. I've had this 2 years now, I think. It doesn't hold a ton of water, but I seem to be able to get through 2 or 3 pieces before I need to refill. It just depends on whether or not I'm working on a dress or if I'm working on a button-up shirt. So I highly recommend. It will be listed in the description box down below. I think the next piece we'll talk about is leather goods, shoes, jackets, purses, wallets, things of that nature. I have a lot of leather pieces, purses, shoes. I have a leather jacket, and I try to make sure that they are moisturized and supple throughout their, life, because once leather starts cracking and getting that really rough texture, it can be really hard to bring them back. So for that, I use this leather lotion from Kiwi. It's really, really simple. You just want to make sure that the leather piece that you're working on is free of any dust or dirt or anything like that. And then you will go ahead and gently rub this lotion in with a soft towel or rag. This is actually an old t-shirt. It's a great thing to do to recycle old shirts that maybe are worn or torn. You can just go ahead and cut them up, make them into rags. They are really great in care kits like this. Just go ahead and rub it in and then let it sit for several minutes. And then you can go ahead with the rag again and buff in the lotion so that it gets that really nice shine going through. And this can be a little time consuming depending on how many leather goods you have, or if you feel that the majority of your pieces are still within good condition. I do mine once a year, which is once every season, and most of my pieces are still looking great since I did it last year. So there were only a few pieces that I felt really needed it. And depending on how large your piece is, if you have a leather jacket, leather blazer, or trench, it could take a little bit longer. I don't feel I necessarily need to take these things to a dry cleaner, only because I know that I have the right products here at home. I think I would like to end this video with a few honorable mentions. There are a few pieces in my kit that I've just noticed over time that I need. I reach for their last minute tweaks, like a lint roller. This is just a disposable lint roller. It's a standard piece. They come in extremely handy before you leave the house. Just give yourself a little zhuzh and you're good to go. If any of you own pets, I have a cat, then you know that these can be really, really important to have if you're headed to work or to a wedding, or you just want to look really put together and not so scruffy. then these are really, really great. The next piece I would say is a spray powder for your shoes. After wear, or if you're in shoes for, you know, a long day or anything like that, this is really great when you get home. Take your shoes off, and it destroys odor and prevents most athlete's foot. So TMI maybe, but it's a really great thing to have if you find that you have been sweating all day. You know, everybody does it, but this has come in very, very handy on very long days after walks or being in my shoes at work all day. It does the job. It gets rid of odors. I really, really recommend. And then the last one is for those rainy months. Ultra Protect. This is new to me, and it's almost empty. But it says protection against stains in water for up to 12 months and UV fading for up to 2 months. So I spray this on my shoes mostly. Anything that's suede, leather, or nubuck. I make sure that I put a protection spray on mostly for the rainier days, just because I live in the Pacific Northwest. That's something that I have to deal with during the fall and winter. And it's really, really good that if you want to get more use out of your shoes during those months, to put a protectant on it. You could also possibly spray this. I'm not 100% sure. You could probably, outerwear, backpacks, hats, leather footwear. So it looks like you could probably even spray this on a rain jacket if you find, excuse me, on a rain jacket if you find that maybe it is losing its protective layer. It's just good to do it every once in a while, or at least once a year, just to make sure that all of your pieces when you're stepping outside don't get ruined by the rain. Now, granted, once it starts getting really rainy, the mud, the slush, you probably don't want to be wearing your nicest things at that time. Rain boots are a good way to go. But for those earlier months where it just rains every now and again, having a protectant spray is a really great idea. So that was a quick peek into my personal closet care kit. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that it was informative. Again, the products that I showed in this video, these aren't sponsored. These are simply products that I have used and I've enjoyed and don't cost an exorbitant amount of money. So I'm going to go ahead and list them down below. I don't think our closet should cost more than necessary if we're able to take care of our pieces at home. I think that's fantastic. It gives us the opportunity to get to know them better, to make sure that we know the pieces that are in our closets, and as long as we take care of them, they'll take care of us. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you enjoy styling videos, lookbooks, the occasional thrift haul, please consider subscribing. And as always, until next time, I look forward to seeing you. Take care.